The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanye now, Bikoda. Do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
My name is Martha Karua, Senior Counsel, duly granted a special practicing certificate to enable me to appear in this case.
Karua?
Karua, K-A-R-U-A. Yes.
Martha?
Martha Karua, SC for Senior Counsel. I appear for Dr. Kisa Besigye and Obeid Lutalo alongside my colleagues Arias Lukwago, under whose firm I practice, Aaron Chiza, Wanda Ronald Samuel, Proscovia Kimihira, Katos Tumusime, Farouk Kamlegea. Kato Tumusime is right here. Farouk Kamlegea, Bayan Turinawe.
Where's Council Farouk?
Farouk
Who? Farouk Kamlegea.
Bayan Turinawe. Silas Ogul, Isaac Kwagala, and my colleague Nsubuga Simon appears for Captain Ola. My learned colleague on the other side will introduce
Captain
himself.
has only one
Yes.
advocate.
Yes.
That's in Subuka.
Yes, Your Worship.
Council Martha, I assure that you addressed you because you're the senior counsel.
Yes.
Otherwise, expect the state to address you first. The state you can.
May I please, Your Worship, Richard Kumwongerako, Chief State Attorney, for prosecution. Your Worship, accused persons are in court. And this matter is coming up for further mention.
I can see doctor, and then where is the captain? One in the middle.
Niona it's Hajji Obeid Lutalo.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Worship, first of all, we wish to make an amendment in the charge sheet. And a copy of the amended charge sheet is Your Worship. Unless an objection, unless defense has an objection, we could have it read to the accused persons.
But I hope you are aware that I don't have personal contact of this case. So it would be right for me to entertain the amendment.
I think it has no value.
We have not even received a copy of the charge sheet.
You can't receive before I tender it in senior counsel.
I'm not in personal contact of this matter. Being handled by Chief Magistrate.
Then the court can guide us in the best way forward.
So in other words, what I'm saying is I will not admit an amendment now because I don't have instructions to proceed in the matter. My instructions in this matter is like this.
Most obliged, Your Worship. But I thought, I ideally thought, Your Worship, that you had the powers, since the matter is just coming up for mention and not for hearing, unless my senior colleagues have a contrary view.
Definitely. Your Honor, an amendment is not just a routine thing. It changes the character of the case. We therefore want to agree with the court that this should be before the trial court and that the prosecution should give us advance information so that we can give an informed response. If we want to oppose, we cannot oppose something we have not seen. This is an ambush.
And for state, if you're not aware, the magistrates are having a meeting with the chief registrar. We don't have any of them here, the chief magistrate. That's why I've stepped in this case. And this guy, Wadijan, nothing much.
Yeah. So, Your Honor, before you adjourn, we request that the state now gives us a copy of the charge sheet so that at the time we need to respond, we are able to respond. We will appreciate that guidance from you.
Also, kids, I think the charge sheet will be important.
Yes.
We have already admitted it on record.
Not
Important now, because it's not part of the record.
I'm trying to forestall an ambush so that we go with a draft copy of what the copy, because it's not a draft, it is fully. The state has a disclosure obligation. This honorable court is obligated to...
You return the charge sheet.
It seems the court doesn't want to look even at the charge sheet, but for us, we want to look at it.
The court even has discretion to reject it, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Now you want me to give you a copy of the document, which the other trial magistrate has yet to decide whether to accept it or not. As we speak now, there's no amendment.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just a draft paper, maybe chamber, the deputy's chamber. But you'll address that to the trial chief magistrate, who is not here. Pastor, do you have anything to say? I ask Jan and we go.
Yeah, before you adjourn, Your Worship, we appreciate that Your Worship do not have now powers to deal with the matters, but yours is just to adjourn. But there were some applications that were still pending, which actually were adjourned today. There was an application that was adjourned today, where we made some prayers for observance and respect of the rights of the accused persons, and the state was due to respond today. That is a matter which we thought Your Worship would be disposed of, given the fact that it touches fundamental rights. Unfortunately, again, the trial magistrate is not the trial magistrate. The magistrate who is in the conduct of the matter is not around. So Your Worship, that would guide this honorable court in deciding the earliest date we can get. The other issue, Your Worship, is the fact which we want to be on record that the accused persons have been on remand for over 6 months now. For the record, Your Worship, they were remanded on the 20th day of November 2024, and yesterday.
You were remanded on 20th?
20th. They were picked from Nairobi. To get the chronology of events properly, they were picked from Nairobi on 16th of November. That's when they were abducted and transferred back here to Kampala, and then formally charged before the General Court Martial on 20th November, and remanded to Brazil. 2024. So we intended to make some prayers before the trial magistrate today in regards to their continued detention or remand. But we appreciate we appreciate the circumstances, Your Worship. So since it's just a meeting they are having, and it's a one-day meeting, Your Worship, we pray that we come back tomorrow for determination of those serious matters which touch fundamental rights. Because the continued detention or remand
I don't know the practice that you've been in the trial chief magistrate. Have you been coming back after 1 week, 1 day, or I don't know. I know there are some adjournments that have been going on.
bringing in these issues, Your Worship, of fundamental rights. There was an application for enforcement of rights, first of all.
True.
Yes, and also this.
Though I was given specific dates to adjourn. That's why I'm trying to reconcile with you and find out whether you had got shorter adjournment.
It's the reason, Your Worship, we are seeking your indulgence now that you are in charge of the matter, to appreciate the gravity of the issues we are raising, because they touch fundamental rights. The first one about enforcement of their rights, the liberties, and also now the new one about the 6 months remand,
So,
which is a constitutional matter, Your Worship.
True.
Yes.
Has been given 5th of June and 2nd of June.
We request, Your Worship, if
That's-
we could,
this is what I have here.
if we could be accommodated this week.
So I don't know if I give you any other date whether the trial magistrate will sit on that date. Because we have criminal days, we have civil days. That's the challenge we have. Some days are earmarked for civil, some days for criminal.
I request, Your Worship, you reconcile that with the constitutional command under Article 23. Yes, there is a matter of convenience for the trial magistrate, but also there is a constitutional command. I pray that you exercise your discretion to reconcile that, Your Worship, because 6 months remand is a matter we are challenging under.
So if the trial chief magistrate has given me 2 weeks, you want 1 day, maybe we draw the balance in between and adjourn it for 1 week. Because I would even be acting out of instructions of my supervisor. Since we're raising the issue of constitutional rights, we just have to break balance. Because there are specific dates when these cases are handled.
Yeah.
Today is a Wednesday. Pardon? Next week you're not available. This Council Request 2nd of June, does it take us to 2 weeks or less?
It's around 2 weeks, Your Worship. It's taking us to around 2
So
weeks.
I acting out of instructions of my supervisor.
No, but the constitutional commander was
I would
referring.
have given you next week on Wednesday, but state again is saying that it will not be available.
But there is a constitutional commander, Your Worship.
So that's what I'm saying. I can give you next week on Wednesday.
Your Worship,
Yes.
I would like, before we take any other decision, Your Worship, to have my colleague on record, our colleague,
Yes.
Frederick Impando here. He has joined
Yes,
us.
ma'am.
I'm sorry.
With the permission of the senior counsel, I would like to have him on.
Okay.
And he has something to say, Your Worship.
Your Worship, I'm very sorry I'm late. I got caught up by the prayers at the airstrip.
Yes, yes, Council.
Your Worship, just to, when we adjourned last time, there were 2 requests. The first one was for the accused persons to be brought in a way which doesn't undermine their rights to a fair hearing, being brought and crowded upon as though they are very high-level criminals. The second one was a simple one, for the accused persons to be allowed to talk to their relatives, lawyers, and the people they lead after sessions in this court, as their right. We were quite surprised that the court required the state required a man to go and do research about the right of an accused person to meet his relatives, and the court required a man to retreat. Because in the earlier rulings, it's not a court of record, in this court, when application is made, I would you leave, Your Worship, in the Chief Magistrate's Court of Nakawa at Nakawa, in Nakawa criminal case number AA 27 of 2024, Uganda versus Makoka Samuel and others. I think there are the 36 accused. When a request was made that these people
talk to their relatives after, rather than being hashed away to prison after trial. It was granted instantly, on among others grounds of common sense. So we are surprised that the state needs to go and consult that. The accusers say, can I meet relatives after trial?
Your Worship, before you proceed, I wonder the manner in which you are proceeding. Are we submitting?
No, I'm not writing anything.
So this is what I'm surprised.
So,
because what council is talking about is what the Lord Mayor talked about. So I am wondering, I am in the puzzle.
So without
what variation is bringing?
Senior Counsel,
Your Worship,
without losing focus on what the Lord Mayor raised, Council Senior Counsel Kwaga, I'm speaking. This is important for you because you were saying you need me to adjourn this matter tomorrow.
Yes.
So that probably you apply for mandatory bail?
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you have addressed yourself to the administrative circular issued by the PK. The one which bars magistrates' courts from issuing any kind of bail in capital offences. I don't know if you addressed your mind.
Sufficient at least our minds
Yes.
that, and we have superior authorities to challenge that. So it's the reason we said we are going to bring out all these arguments before the trial magistrate. All we are asking for is the earliest opportunity in light of the constitutional command, Your Worship, which is very clear.
And the earliest opportunity I'm giving you is going to be second.
That's why we are saying, Your Worship, in light of the command under Article 23, Your Worship, that would be too far.
Your Worship, I hadn't finished my point before, as he normally does.
That's why I got your point. You
No,
said,
because I hadn't
you
finished.
said you want relatives to talk to.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, and to the extent he's asking for an adjournment, his request was that he be given a month to go and research and submit. So unless he's saying that he was aware the trial magistrate wouldn't be around before us, his duty today is to come, his submissions go on record, so that whenever the magistrate is available, they read, rather than adjourning, because assuming that it's not Your Worship who will hear the matter, court can record. It even records electronically, so that the magistrate, when they are available, reads the record and delivers a ruling. Unless he's saying that he must submit before that magistrate.
I think your absence has costed you a lot.
No, my lord, the
In
word
fact,
is cost, not costed.
Let me say something. In your absence, prosecution was ready to proceed. And then the magistrate says, the trial magistrate is indisposed.
It's in the meeting.
It's in a meeting.
Yes.
I don't know whether this conversation is leading us.
So for me, I'm thinking.
Wait. I've already informed you earlier that I don't have instructions to proceed in this matter apart from adjournment. I made myself very clear on that.
I think
And I've been given dates. I have 5th of June and 2nd of June. And Council of Kwagala is trying to negotiate on a date. And I said, if I'm not
reconciling that.
Reconciling.
Yes,
and
with
I
the
said,
command of the Constitution.
if I'm to go against the instructions of my supervisor, the diarist move I can make is to give you next week on Wednesday. But beyond that, it's impossible. Because even what I'm doing now,
Can we take a man?
because I've been given these dates,
Which is not available.
these are dates.
we want
They are
to-
here, I have them.
we just want to be of use to the court. We appreciate that you have a command. But also in the hierarchy of laws and administrative rules, the Constitution is higher than all of them. And whereas we understand you have no mandate to proceed, is it possible to give a date even tomorrow in view of the command of the Constitution? That's all that we are seeking, the earliest date possible.
Your Worship, I just request that the court reads, because again in that simple application to meet relatives after court trial, it wasn't the presiding magistrate, it was a standing magistrate. So, and the record is very clear. It was that the simple request to see relatives was made by a standing magistrate. Not
last time when we were here, doctors, lawyers told me they wanted to meet him, and I remember I permitted it. We reconciled with the prison authorities, and they allowed the doctor to talk to his relatives. No. They didn't.
Well, that is why we made
doctor,
a request.
is that true?
That's why we made a request that they are allowed to see him after here. It is not a problem if court can secure that they talk to him.
So where are the relatives?
It is here.
I will just limit the relatives. I'll allow them to speak to him, but I will limit the relatives. We can't have the whole village coming to talk.
The request from that day.
So,
Worship, that's for the record. The request from that day, because there were many lawyers, there were the lawyers, there were the relatives, and the court also took cognizance of the fact that, fortunately or unfortunately, the accused persons are leaders, that they should meet their people. Being accused does not make them second-rate citizens in any way. They are like you and me. Otherwise, when you say that they meet only certain people, then again, the assumption is that for the others, these people are a little bit guilty, or they are not innocent. They are like you and me. And the people that they don't meet them in the cells, because the cells are restricted. Here, in this arena, where there is relative freedom.
okay, this is what we are going to do. I will only permit around 5 relatives to meet him in the presence of the lawyers. The rest of the community will move out of court. We shall have prison authorities securing the place, not necessarily inside but around. So that's my decision. And it's not going to take long. You should have like, I don't know what you want to discuss about, but 15 to 20 minutes.
Your Worship, that
I'll come back on 29th of May.
Your Worship, the office of the
Thank you.
of Uganda, Article 23, Sub-Article 6, is very clear that if someone is charged with an offense and spends 180 days in custody before that offense or those charges have been committed to the High Court, which is the situation of our clients, they must be released on bail. Dr. Besigye, Obeid Lutalo have spent 6 months as of yesterday, not even today. Therefore, it is time for the High Court to grant them mandatory bail. So we were simply telling the court was saying that the magistrate only had instructions to adjourn to a specific date by his superior. Our argument is the Constitution of Uganda is superior to the command of a supervising magistrate. And because it is time to grant bail to Dr. Kizza Besigye and Obeid Lutalo, as per the Ugandan Constitution, we should get a date that is close enough so that we can address the issue of bail. We have been given the 29th. We would have wanted tomorrow, but there is the bail application pending before the High Court, and we are going to move there to see whether we can be given an urgent date. Because by law, Dr. Besigye and Colonel Lutalo should be out on bail now.
Of course, embeera gye balimu si ennungi, mwena nga mukimanyi ekkomera teriberekamu. Bwe twogera kati bamaze emyezi 6 nga bali mu kkomera, era ffe abazze babalabako ebiseera ebisinga bwe tugendayo mu kkomera okubalaba bagamba baagala okuvaayo. Naye gavumenti ezze etuzoobazooba mu buli kimu. Nga bwe kimanyi twafayiringa bail application, baagiwa omulamuzi essaawa eno alina ogiwuliriza, naye omulamuzi akyali mu civil division. Twewuunya lwaki kooti weba ealocating emisango gino, lwaki egyalocatingira omuntu ataliiwo, naddala nga application ekwatagana ku ddembe lya muntu, kubanga okusaba beyiro ddembe lya muntu, naye kooti yawa omulamuzi akyali mu civil division akyahandolinga omusango omulala essaawa eno. So kibennyamiza, naye bo bakyali bagumu, basuubira essaawa yonna bajja kuvaayo kuba tebalina musango gwe bazza.
Kyoyogera ku ssemateeka engeri gy'alabululamu ensonga ezikwatagana n'ebyobuntu.
Ssemateeka alambulula bulungi muno omuntu yenna akkirizibwa okufulumizwa kakalu ka kkooti kasita aweza emyezi 6 mu misango gya naggomola. Kkooti ku ssaawa eyo tekyalina ddembe okumuwa oba obutamuwa, mu luzungu kye tuyita discretion. Ssemateeka agiragira muno balina okubatta ku ssaawa eno. Naye tugezzaako okukigamba omulamuzi oba tugambye muno ye aliwo just kutuwa lunaku lulala, takkirizibwa kuwulira kintu kyonna ku ssaawa eno. Naye tumusaba agezeeko tuwa olunaku olw'okumpimpi, kuba kati ensonga ze tracing nga zikolagana ku ddembe lyabwe, ate ssemateeka alagira kooti na buli munnayuganda yenna oba buli muntu yenna obutakuumira muntu mabega wa mukadduukulu okusuka emyezi 6 nga tatwaliddwa mu High Court.
Je suis venu exceptionnellement de France pour m'associer au collectif d'avocats du docteur Besigye.
Okay, Saïd Larifou, he's a jurist from France. He has come specifically to join the observers at the hearing of Dr. Besigye and Obeid Lutalo case.
Je remercie le collectif d'avocats du docteur Besigye, en particulier ma consoeur, ancien ministre Martha, pour sa confiance, et puis au docteur Besigye également pour sa confiance. Je suis très honoré d'être ici aujourd'hui une nouvelle fois pour exprimer toute ma solidarité, la solidarité africaine.
So very pleased to come here today and very honored and privileged to come here today to stand with others, with KB, with Dr. Besigye, and his lawyers led by the former Justice Minister, Senior Counsel Martha Karua, to stand in solidarity and to share the spirit of African solidarity in what is happening.
J'étais en Tanzanie lundi dernier pour exprimer avec la même conviction, la même force, ma solidarité, la solidarité africaine, à un autre opposant du premier plan qui est poursuivi pratiquement pour les mêmes faits.
So he was in Tanzania just a few days ago for the same conviction and to stand in solidarity with brothers in Tanzania who are going through the same situation.
Et aujourd'hui, je suis ici. Et pourquoi? Parce que si je suis ici à Ouganda, à Kampala aujourd'hui, c'est parce qu'il y a une identité de lutte. Nous sommes tous liés par des principes universels de droits de l'homme et des valeurs humaines. Et c'est pour cette raison que nous sommes ici. Nous avons le même destin africain, nous avons des mêmes valeurs à partager.
So if you see me here today, I am here because we're united by the Pan-African spirit, and we are also united by the same principles of international human rights, and that is why we are here to stand with colleagues all over in East Africa.
Et comme disait le Premier ministre Ousmane Sonko, nous avons les mêmes problèmes provoqués par les mêmes causes et les solutions seront des solutions communes.
So even with Ousmane Sonko, was the same situation provoked by the same problems, and it is understood that we are only going to overcome those through common solutions.
Et les chants révolutionnaires, le chant patriotique et le chant de libération qui ont été tonnés dans la salle d'audience est la preuve que nous partageons le même destin et le même combat et les solutions seront communes également. Vive l'Ouganda uni, vive l'Afrique unie, vive la solidarité est-africaine.
So live African solidarity, live African unity, and live combined efforts to resolve our African problems. Thank you.
Okuwulira omusango gwe omuntu oyo ajja kuteebwa ku gye bayita mandatory bail, naye mukimanyi bulungi nti waliwo practice guidelines Chief Justice yafulumya ennaku ezo ng'aga nti bamagistrate tebaawenga bail eno mandatory bail yadde emyezi 6 giweddeko bw'obwo buyinza bwa high court. Naye era mu high court naye twateekayo bail application tennaba kufixingibwa. Naye ffe olwaleero tuzadde tuzze nga tumaliridde nga tulina ne authorities oba amateeka gonna ge tuzza okusaitinga agalaga nti kooti eno eyina obuyinza obutta Dr. Besigye wamu n'Obeid Lutalo nga basinziira mu nnyingo eya 23 yadde waliwo akateeka Chief Justice ke yafulumya gye bayita practice guideline egezaako okubagaana okuwulira bail application eyo. Kyennaku tutuuse wano nga magistrate taliiwo. Nene ensonga ze batuwadde nga tezimatiza nti ali mu meeting ne registrar ku high court. Olunaku olukulu bwe ruti nga omusango gukomawo nga waliwo ensonga ez'omuzinzi ng'eyo eya mandatory bail nti ono bamaze emyezi 6 ku remand nga tebawuzesebwa n'obujulizi tebufuluma ate magistrate lwabuzeewo. Ekyo tukyewuunyezza nnyo era kitukubye enkyuko y'amaanyi. Era ono azze his worship Elias Kakooza mulabye agambye ekimu ye yazze na instructions mu Adijani bongereyo era ng'anoonya bunoonya lunaku lulala yadde waliwo na application gye twali tutaddeyo enforcement of rights n'ebirala. So kitukoze bubi nnyo era kitulaze nti waliwo emizannyo egizannyibwa yaddeko tugiwa ekitiibwa naye waliwo emizannyo ezizannyibwa kubanga olwaleero ffe tuzze tumaliridde nga tubagamba ennaku emyezi 6 giweddeko yadde bali sayitinzaako ka practice guideline naye tulina authorities eziraga nti balina obuyinza kubanga kiri mandatory. Katulinde naku z'omwezi 29 ze batuwadde naye ate era tugenda kugenda ne mu high court olunaku olwaleero naye okulaba nti ensonga ya bail application naye egobererwa ate nga ne wano kubanga ekikulu kya byonna bano kye baagala kye tumanyi mwami Museveni kyayagala kwe kuza Dr. Kizza Besigye wamu n'Obeid Lutalo mu General Court Martial nga baakoze ekiteeka kyabwe kye baakubiridde amangu ne bakomyawo bonna abantu abali mu General Court Martial kooti negaba emisango bagizze mu civilian courts bano baagala kubazzaayo mwami Muhoozi mutabani wa Museveni yagamba nti singa Byanyima Honorable Winnie Byanyima talekeraawo kusojja Muhoozi ku luwonzi mbwi yali muzaayo ti yalizaayo Dr. Besigye mu General Court Martial kakati ng'omulaba nti ye eryanyi lirye lyakozesa era lyeryanyi lyagezaako okutulaga wano naye naffe tumaliridde olutalo olukyagenda mu maaso.
Kanso kunnongoosereza oludda olugabizi lwagala okukola mu musango guno muzoogerako ki?
Tetuzimanyi, tetuzirabye nako era twewuunya oluvannyuma lw'emyezi 6 lwoleeta amendment ku charge sheet ate otya kubanga bulijjo bali luddawa omusango guno gwasooka mu General Court Martial file ne bagibawa ne baleeta charge sheet bo bennyini ng'eriko omusango gwa treason ne misprision of treason emisango ebiri kaka twebuuza ate amendment eno ejja etya ku ssaawa eno ekyokubiri tibo kituwaddeeko kopi kituyise ambush kubanga mu mateeka mu ssemateeka nnambika gya kirambika mu bulungi wabeerawo mu right to fair hearing erimu ne disclosure buli kyonookozesa kitulagi disclosure kintu kikulu nnyo mu criminal justice system yaffe buli kyoleeta kitulagi tokukulira toplayingira kaadi z'okukifuba bwoti so state erina kyekukusa kye baagala okuyisaawo mu amendment eyo either kuteekamu bantu balala oba kwagala kuteekawo bisango birala babyongereko ku bino ebiriwo kuba kati balinayo ebiri oba byombi.
Koza ekisembayo mu Luganda kinaakola amakulu bwe munaakomawo nga 29 nga omulamuzi taliiwo ne state taliiwo kubanga okusinziira ku birivumbuka abagambye sabbiiti ejja tebagenda kubeerawo.
balina obuzibu nti emyezi 6 nga giweddeko nga tewaliwo committee papers olina obuzibu tebanna committee nga Dr. Besigye ne Lutale for trial ate nga ssemateeka mu article ya 23 gamba olina obbawa mandatory bail so balina obuzibu bo bennyini ogenda mu maaso ne Mateeyo so tugenda kukomawo ku 29 naye Lutalo okontinuing otya with the mention after 6 months ng'omuntu ali ku rimandi nga te ssemateeka agamba amala emyezi 6 nga tumuleseeko bujulizi mute so tugenda kudda wano ku 29 lugenda kuba Lutalo era twagala okuteeka mu magistrate yono ku notice nti tukomawo olutalo si lwa ngumi si lwaki naye lwa ssemateeka ffe ekyokulwanyisa kyaffe ssemateeka ennyingo eya 23 egamba nti Dr. Besigye alina okuteebwa tojja kuleeta ka practice guideline nti Chief Justice alina akateeka ke yafulumya akagamba nti tolina buyinza nga ssemateeka agambye oyo mutee ate olusayitinga otya akateeka akakoleddwa Chief Justice Lutalo tukomawo wano ku Lutalo era twagala okumutegeeza trial magistrate tukomawo 29 ku Lutalo kubanga ssemateeka amaze okuta Dr. Besigye kamaze emyezi 6 ku rimandi nga tebannamuleetako bujulizi. That is it.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi, Rogers. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes, it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.